What's up guys, Kong here, and this video marks the start of a new series that we're calling Did You Know Genshin? Now personally, I'm loving the game, but I've spent more than enough time trying to summon the world's favorite character, the Yasuo of Genshin Impact, Diluc. Since I can't summon him even after obtaining 90 pity, opening all of the windows in my house, and practicing feng shui for 2 weeks straight, I've looked into his lore to find out just why Diluc is so much of a badass. Make sure you watch to the end because I'm about to drop the biggest lore bomb so far. So let's go to the beginning of time, or at least the beginning of Mondstadt. Beware that there are some minor manga spoilers ahead, although it's nothing too important. Mondstadt hasn't always been the joyful place it is now, and as with most countries, it was plagued with corruption. The magnates, famous rich guys with influence, ruled over Mondstadt, led by someone called Lord Laurence. They did all sorts of things to slight the poor, like making holy days privileges just for the rich. Speaking of being rich, we're giving you all the chance to be rich with Primogems with a free giveaway that we're running for this next week and a half. We're giving away 4 gift cards for Genshin Impact, for EU and NA respectively, each worth £15, dollars or euros depending on your location. In the past, we've given away Monster Hunter World, Dragon Ball FighterZ Pre-Order Edition, Street Fighter and even Overwatch. All you need to do is visit the description to get the link to the giveaway. Make sure you like, subscribe and comment your favorite character below because we'll be announcing the winners in the next video. Now, back to the lore. Mondstadt is threatened by an evil dragon called Ursa the Drake. To appease it, the magnates offer tributes to it, and these have no boundaries in terms of what they are. These guys are real pieces of work, and they even kidnap women for their own desires, and manipulate the villagers through fear. In the manga, Vanessa is a red-haired protagonist that shares an uncanny likeness with Diluc, although she's forced into the life of a gladiator slave. Her dream is to free her people who are also enslaved, by fighting as a gladiator and winning their collective freedom, like in Rome. Eventually, she wants to enter Celestia, the House of the Gods, which is that giant airship-like island in the game that you can see if you look up in Mondstadt. Great heroes will be chosen by the gods to dwell with them, and protect the world with those gods. The Wind Archon Venti runs into Vanessa one day when he's escaping the Lord of Mondstadt after enraging him. Because Vanessa protects him, she's jailed and she's told that she has a final battle scheduled. That night, Venti appears in prison with her and tells her about her lineage. Vanessa comes from the children of Murata, a foreign tribe who worship the Fire Archon of the same name. Murata, the goddess, blessed her followers with fiery red hair and a hardy nature. See the relation? On the day of her scheduled fight, Lord Laurence flips the switch and instead states that her entire family will have to fight. But it can't get any worse than that, Con. Well, you're wrong. The Murata tribe's challenger is none other than Ursa the Drake, and for a bunch of enslaved warriorkin, this is a dirty deal. He's so obnoxious that he states that if they win, they'll get the keys to Mondstadt and his entire fortune, although it's obvious that this will never happen. Not normally, at least. And well, they all start to die. It's a bloodbath and this only makes Vanessa lose her cool. But when all hope is gone, Venti appears out of nowhere and graces his friend Vanessa with the power to fight off the Drake. Vanessa fights off the Drake, and Venti declares that Laurence has to fulfill his promise. Vanessa establishes the Order Favonius, although she and Venti die in their rebellion against the rich. The old Mondstadt is destroyed, becoming Stormterror's lair, and the new one is surrounded by the Cider Lake. While I could get into the technicalities of Venti and Vanessa and their respective deaths, that's for another video, as the inconsistencies and smaller details are a bit too heavy to go into in this video alone. And so, peace in Mondstadt is restored. Venti even includes her in a song that you can find in-game. It's called The Legend of Vanessa 1 and 2, and you can find this in the Knights of Favonius Grandmaster Quarters. Now deceased, Vanessa enters Celestia and becomes the Keeper of the Realm, transforming into a hawk that scours the skies of Mondstadt. So that was a breakdown of the prologue, but we're far from finished. We've still yet to speak about the man himself, the man of the hour, Diluc. Diluc owns a popular winery that is well known in Mondstadt. Occasionally, the winery holds events that have many fathers attending who attempt to marry their daughters to Diluc, the young winery owner. He's a fine gentleman, capable of handling all and any business. Everything about him is cool. His hair, cool. Clothes, cool. The way he talks to women, cool. Although he keeps to himself, Diluc and Kaya are close, even if their bond has been stretched due to circumstances. They think of each other as brothers, and Kaya was essentially adopted by Diluc's father. These days he's a vigilante behind the scenes, not the knight that some people still see him as. He'll do whatever he needs to do in order to protect Mondstadt. Others believe that Diluc has another brother, the Dark Knight, but it's really just Diluc in disguise. He wasn't always this cool though. Remember Sasuke from Naruto when he started off as a little shrimp, and then after his family died he actually started turning up. Yep, similar story right here. His father wanted him to become the most esteemed knight of the Order Favonius. He followed through with this and swore an oath to protect Mondstadt, and then became the youngest ever cavalry captain, which is why Jean sometimes refers to him as Master. With this, he also obtained his vision. Diluc's father's motivation pushed him to go further and filled him with passion. Just as everything was going well, it all started to go downhill. Diluc's father was killed by the Fatui when Ursa the Drake attacked a convoy that he and his father were traveling with. The monster was too strong for Diluc to fend off, although his father, one who was refused power by the gods and a non-combatant, used an evil power through a delusion, a manufactured vision. In all honesty, it's really ambiguous how his father actually dies, because in the game it says that he dies shortly afterwards due to using the power, although this last bit is up to interpretation. In the manga, a Fatui device makes Ursa frenzy, and due to this it overpowers Diluc's father and kills him. Also, that's what it looks like. But then further on in the manga they say that it just backfires and I don't even know anymore. So we're just gonna say that he dies, due to the Fatui, somehow. Because his father was just an ordinary businessman, the knights didn't want to disclose what happened to the public, otherwise the public wouldn't trust the knights to protect them after a normal person just fought off the Drake. The guildmaster of the knights, Eru, disrespects his father and that makes Diluc enraged, prompting him to leave the knights and discard his vision. He dedicates his life to avenge his father and to find the source of the occult power. The winery is left in control of his head housemaid, and Diluc leaves Mondstadt without his vision. He travels across the 7 nations to find the truth and is led to the Fatui. It turns out they made the counterfeit visions and dubbed them delusions, and even though they're able to amplify the user's power, they can backfire, such as what happened with his father. The 11, the rulers of the Fatui, monitored Diluc's progress from the shadows, and after he destroyed many strongholds, he barely escaped death due to a third party from the underground intelligence network. Eventually, he joins the network. Like Diluc, many of the individuals in the network have foregone their previous aspirations, and through that he may reforge camaraderie. And so far that's all we know about Diluc from the game and the manga, although what would this video be without theory crafting? To close off this video, I'm dropping a lore bomb. It's no surprise that Genshin Impact and Honkai Impact 3rd are related, with appearances of Storm Terror in both Honkai Impact as well as Genshin Impact. Even the names of the games are related, but that's not what I'm getting at. Remember how at the start of the video I mentioned the children of Murata? Firstly, Diluc is most definitely one of them, given his unusual hair color. He's a pyro user and is quite hardy, which is how he is able to become a captain at a young age and be renowned for being dependable. His ultimate move releases a flaming phoenix towards his enemies, which is likely a reference to Vanessa, who turned into an eagle after entering Celestia. With his trusty claymore, he sets aflames his enemies and boasts his strength. But there's also a Murata in Honkai Impact as well. Murata Himiko, a lady with fiery red hair who also uses a claymore. As if the name relation isn't telling enough, Himiko disappears in Honkai Impact 3rd after losing to her student, Kiana. She's kicked off of the battleground and plummets into the abyss, but her body is nowhere to be found. With all their technology and superpowers, it's hard to believe that they can't find a single corpse. Now, when Himiko is fighting Kiana, she uses Diluc's ultimate ability, without the phoenix, to cut her way towards her student. Fire shoots from her body and she shows her worth as an ordinary human against a Hersher-empowered Kiana. Fire, red hair, a claymore, a flaming sword, a mysterious disappearance, interworld connections. With all of this in consideration, it's very likely that Himiko is the current Fire Archon, although we can only truly confirm this with future expansions. If I'm being honest, I really do love Genshin Impact so far. If you like this video, please drop a like and subscribe to us for more lore and theory content, as we'll be uploading weekly. Make sure you join our free giveaway in the description for your chance to win enough Primogems to pull Diluc. Kong out. Peace.